No, you! Shut up! Hello! I'm not slightly late for stream today, you're slightly late for stream today. This is Brandon Smith, live in the Forbidden Library. And I'm only a little late today because I had an extra long nap this afternoon that was unexpectedly long and somewhat put me behind schedule. It was a glorious nap though. Absolutely a glorious nap. But it was too long and it is probably going to mess with my sleep. But hey ho, here we are anyway. Hello and everyone. Welcome. It was a lovely nappy wappy. Yes. Welcome everyone. Welcome Rahel. Welcome Red Candy Guy. Welcome Lucas. Welcome Jake. Welcome Void Traveler. Welcome Luke. And welcome Void Dweller. And today we are here to read even more Colosseum. We're going to see just how edgy we could get. Oh, this book's been very fun. Obviously it's had its few issues, but it's been generally pretty fun so far. We're just over halfway through with 53%. Pretty good, pretty good. So let me give you a recap of that 53%. So, Colosseum is, it's based in Vegas. Well, the championship is based in Vegas. It's like a VR game where they walk into a mech console thing that kind of covers their whole body, so they like become the character kind of thing. And it's a 2-on-2 fighter. It's kind of like a hero fighter, like an Overwatch thing, but it's 2-on-2. No, 1-on-1. 1-on-1, not 2-on-2. Two people, they fight. Yes. And it's a 1-on-1 fighter. It has like skills and different characters and all sorts of stuff. And two of the best in the biz were known as Ken and Cypher. And Cypher, unfortunately, has had an arthritis diagnosis, which is gonna like destroy him. Hello, Normal Size Fan. I'm Brandon Smith, and this economy. More likely than you think. Indubitably. Yes! He got an arthritis diagnosis, so he did his one last fight against Ken, in which he won because there were some bullshit mechanics going on. His character, like, unlocked a strange ability at the end, which basically used the power of God to fight Ken, and won, and Ken lost. He's a disabled boy. He's not a disabled boy, but he's on his way to, like, he got the arthritis, yeah. So I guess he's on his way to it, really, technically, yeah. And after that, Ken takes the defeat really hard, because he's a very strict martial artist rather than he is a gamer. Because a lot of martial artists go into this VR thing, because they're martial artists. Recap from memory. Protagonist guy. Alright, streamer lady. Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually that's one of the things that happens. Is Ken, he goes to sad boy mode and he watches his favorite streamer lady. And then his favorite streamer lady announces that she's dating the guy that just beat him. and then he goes into the game again, and one of the Dark Angel avatars starts talking to him and goes, "Yes! Channel your anger!" And it was so cheesy and edgy. It was great. And we can't wait to see Ken just get more edgy as we go. Meanwhile, Cypher's having a great time. He's got a nice waifu now, and he's retiring to become a teacher. And he's getting the top 10 players that aren't in the sort of finalist area, and they're all going to become his students. And we're slowly getting introduced to those right now. So far, we have Toxic Gamer Man, who is an absolute toxic streamer gamer who was awful, and I hope bad things happen to him. Then we had a dude who just kind of plays at his local gym and really can't afford too much. And I think that was all. I think we only had the two so far. So that's about where we're up to. So we got Ken falling into darkness with his virtual Dark Angel teacher thing that may or may not be alive. We don't know. And then Cypher's army of students. And hello, Boris. Welcome. And Normal Size Fandom. Welcome. And we shall begin. Chapter 18. TCG trading card game. I don't know. I thought this was a VR game. Now we got cards. Dryden had gotten up early and climbed out of his bedroom window. He wasn't getting any sleep, with his dad making himself known to absolutely no one in the living room. Still on a bender from the night before, moving around the house drunk, smacking into random walls, mumbling about his life's gripes for hours. Dryden got out of the house as early in the mornings. After about a mile and a half, he made it to his high school courtyard and sat alone at one of the picnic tables. He began, as always, studying the deck that he used in Evolution. Evolution is the game, by the way, the game that they had. We had cards with that camping shuffle character. Yes, that's true. One of the characters you could play had like a deck where he could do like lots of different things, but potentially only do it once, and then he had to shuffle 10 times before he could pull out another hand and all that sort of stuff. I liked that fight better than the other one because we had a bit better explanation of the two characters that were fighting and how they worked. It was very good. Evolution didn't make physical cards in real life. He had made a replica deck with notebook paper. Aw, what a sweetie. He wrote the titles and drew pictures himself. The list of mythics were written on a notepad to the left, and a list of stages written on a notepad to the right. He shuffled and drew 6 cards, making the occasional glance at a random mythic while focusing on which card he would use in different matchups. He imagined different stages and different playstyles of the mythics to mentally prepare himself. This exercise had been key in his recent rank climb. He was seeing new and creative ways to beat his opponents, all while not wasting as much time thinking during a match. Dryden was air shuffling while his cards were laid out, imagining different scenarios. The other students used to look at him like he needed a psych ward, until one day, the principal came over the school speakers congratulating Dryden on being ranked in the top 100 of Evolution's ranked ladder. Nobody ever looked at him like he needed to be in a psych ward. Yo, Dryden, bro! I saw you in the top 10, man! That's insane! Dryden's buddy Ben sat down across from him. Ben felt more of a fan than a friend sometimes. Ben exerted a lot into Evolution. I don't think that's the right word. He put a lot into it, yeah, but he invested a lot of his time into Evolution, but hadn't had much success on the ladder. He tried hard, but hadn't found his footing, so he looked up to Dryden. Ayo, Ben. Thanks, man. Long way to go for number 1, though. It's getting so difficult to move up. Ben went wide-eyed with shock. What? No, man. Have you not heard? Dryden looked up from his cards and was sitting at the astonished face of his friend Ben. What have I not heard? Ben closed the rest of his distance. Bro, the Colosseum just announced it, man. They announced that the top 10 of the ranked ladder as of last night are all invited to the hotel to compete to earn a spot in the league. You're getting trained by Cypher, dude. Wait, what? Dryden shook his head and didn't know what to think. Ben kept on. Bro, you need to get a tablet. Didn't you have one? You're like the only one without one. Here, look at mine. Every time Dryden had saved enough money for a nice tablet or phone, his father would snag it, pawn it, turn it into booze. He'd tell Dryden, technology will rot your brain, usually while his dad was in the middle of a bender. This wasn't something Dryden thought Ben needed to know. Ben loaded up his announcement on Gab TV and handed over the tablet, positioning himself behind Dryden so he could watch along. Hey, it's Ash Hannah here with today's weekly report. The Colosseum has allowed me, yes, yours truly, to announce not 1, not 2, but 10 new competitors will be entering the Colosseum. I'll give you all the much-needed moment to let that sink in. Alright, are you ready? The top 10 competitors on the open ladder are invited to join the Colosseum on a trial basis. All new competitors will be trained by Cypher himself for him to achieve his trainership. Yay! Now that would mean... that would make me pissed if my father did that to me. I think it would make anyone pissed if their father did that to them, but sometimes you're in shitty situations with shitty parents. Not much you can, especially if he's in high school, there's really not much you can do about it, the poor thing. Could talk to a teacher, but the best they could do is call, like, social services. The video cut to a clip of Cypher. I will no longer be a competitor in the Colosseum. I'll be attempting to become a trainer, and I'm excited to get to work. I'm happy with what I've accomplished through my gaming career, and excited to transition into training some warriors. I'm going to work them hard. Hopefully these noobs will get better. Cutting back to Ash Hannah wearing a sporty get-up with a cap and her hair down. This is going to be insane! So much fresh blood in the league. There's even a trading card game player in the top 10. His name is Dryden. Could you believe that? What if a trading card gamer was in the most competitive Evolution League? Oh, so he does play cards. Pretty baller move to retire on top. Be a teacher even if it wasn't a win streak. Yeah. It's one of the best ways you could go out, really. Just be champion and then be like, haha, no one else can beat me. I'm gonna just go now. Bye. And you'd rot your dad's brain? I mean, he's already doing that with alcohol, it seems, so... Dryden and Ben looked at each other with their eyes wide in astonishment. The high school did know about Dryden and that he was high up in the ladder, but he had never scratched the surface of fame. This was exciting and a little scary. While the video was ending, reality was starting to settle in. How long am I going to compete in Las Vegas for? They didn't even say how long I would be there. I have school, I have work. How am I supposed to pay for a flight to Vegas? Bro, if you earn a spot, you can be there for as long time. You need to make it there. Make it happen. That's a concerning change in font. Being a well-renowned Christian yourself, and someone people look up to, why do you have demonic mythics in your game? Like Fallen Angel, for example. Oh, so this is a talk with the devs. Naruhodo. Well, I'd use one of the beer bottles, but yeah. Wait, this was the same dad that lost the bet. Sorry. Different dad. I believe that guy's name was Max, and he's a good one. We like him. Yeah, make it happen. Just pull the money out of thin air. Ah, Fallen Angel, yes. That's a solid question. I can understand your concern. I had to struggle with the idea myself. People may come to the false conclusion that I'm promoting evil behavior, and I can assure you that is not my intent. I fear that in our society that there is a lack of awareness when it comes to evil. People should be aware that there are forces out there all the time, trying to steal and destroy everything good that God wants for us. I would rather people become aware of evil. I would rather people be more vigilant. Awareness over ignorance, something Jesus taught us. You cannot ignore how aware our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ was and is. God gave each and every single one of us free will, and if our players do not want to play as Fallen Angel, they don't have to. If they happen to fight against an opponent playing as Fallen Angel, it should motivate them. Beat the demon. If they lose to Fallen Angel, well, hopefully they learn to prepare harder and do not underestimate evil. Creator of Evolution, Max Angel. 2050. Got a little while till this one comes out. Something that never seems to go away. Video games are evil discussion. Woo! Fallen Angel in a video game. Fallen Angel is one of the characters in the Evolution video game of the book. Yeah. Chapter 19. Oh, we're going back to Ken. Let's get some edgy time on. Just like Bob Ross. Beat the devil out of him. Chapter 19. Silver Staff. Fallen Angel had instructed Ken to get comfortable with the silver staff and left him alone. The temperature hadn't fluctuated. Extremely cold with black mist all around him. A faint smoky scent persisted. The scent didn't impact breathing. The consoles ventilated well, but a built-in air purifier surrounded by soundproofing. With a built-in air purifier, not but. Ken started experimenting with the staff, knowing he'd have to walk before he could run. The staff felt to be at least 90 pounds. It was difficult for Ken to move quickly and attack an opponent. No way. This would take a while, but he was up for it. He tried some simple thrusts forward, and they were slow and had no power. After a while, Ken was becoming impatient. Ken became flustered and went to put his strength into a lunge. The weight of the staff, the cold numbness, and trying to feel out a new body all led to Ken losing his balance, and his head hit the ground. A wailing scream pierced his ears. His head went ice cold, and complete darkness surrounded him, making it impossible to see. Knees and hands grew colder from contact with the black floor. Too cold. He sprang to his feet. The screaming wouldn't stop. Ken struggled to hold his composure. The screaming was excruciating. He was at least feeling some relief, even though the screeching... because he no longer held the burden of the staff. The staff! Ken had dropped the staff where he fell, and as he turned his head in that direction, the screaming lessened. As Ken moved closer to where he thought the staff was, he could feel a warmth. Still shrouded in darkness and unable to see, he reached out and picked up the staff. The screaming completely stopped. His vision returned, and the cold was tolerable again. Bryony, are you a fallen angel? Because I think you hit the ground a little too hard. Bro, that's just harsh. Hello, Jabba Hop, welcome. There was a bond between Fallen Angel and his staff. The visor briefly displayed a congratulations from the team at Evolution for Ken's journey into the depths of their game. They rewarded Ken with a bond understood achievements. Achievements were rare in Evolution. It was big news when a player obtained one, especially someone in the Colosseum. When players swapped mythics it could be big news. Good thing for Ken that he wasn't currently connected to the internet, so the online data wouldn't update until he connected. He had time. He was content with the training area for now, and wasn't ready for the ladder just yet. The staff was absurd to get used to. That was why nobody mained this mythic. Ken moved to a wide squat with the staff raised over his head, and held it at the widest ends he could manage. Feeling the immense pressure weighing down on him, he began to squat up and down. Every muscle was being tested to maintain balance. No, I don't accept. No, you're cool. Shit. Only after 15 squats, he already needed a breather. Ken was actually in pain. He knelt and placed the staff on the ground, not even thinking about before, wanting a break from the burden. Screaming erupted, and his fingers immediately started to numb from the temperature. Fuck me, I can't hold this thing all the time. Ken picked the staff back up and was breathing even heavier. This time from stress and a bit of panic. This is kind of fucked up. Ken was realizing he wasn't even ready to crawl. Ken went to log out and Fallen Angel appeared in front of him instead, cutting out the option to log out and making the room vibrate with low, booming laughter. That is kind of a sus line. Chapter 20, Cypher Goes Underground. It'd been 2 months since Ash Hannah's announcement. The top 10 of the ranked ladder had settled in at the Colosseum. They checked into their rooms last night, and some breakfast this morning, and were currently on time for a meeting with Cypher. Their meeting place was a shady alley miles away from the good part of Vegas. Everything was run down and looked abandoned. Trash cans were full and leaked over. They were all wondering why in the world they were meeting over here. Everyone had already introduced themselves to each other. Most had fought against each other more than a few times, but this was the first time they'd seen each other in person. The competitors had all dedicated a decent portion of their time every week on improving in evolution. They had everything in common. Friendships were already starting to form. Dryden was cast out after the introductions. Aside from Semtex, he was the only gamer. And Semtex was an asshole. And Semtex got a pass because he was jacked. Dryden was not too much to look at as far as strength, but he was above average in height and thin with long legs. They also knew he mained TCG, the epitome of what the martial artists dislike about evolution. The TCG in TCG players stood for Trading Card Game, in case you're reading this gaming book and didn't know that. Imagine if he actually does get the girl by beating Cypher. You never might. Who knows? Who knows? We have 40% of the book to find out. The other 8 players were heavily focused on the martial art disciplines in Evo. They spent a lot of the time in the gym. When they got their attacks off in game, they did massive amounts of damage. In Evo, your real-life strength mattered a great deal. You were still in a mythic's body, but your own strength unlocked how much of that mythic you could become. Your height, your reach, your strength, your flexibility, your quickness, all transferred over to your ability to maneuver inside the console. In the end, you were the controller. Kinect! Xbox Kinect, you're the controller. It was no longer the gamer's ability to control the mouse and keyboard. The player was the mouse and keyboard. Dryden was not the strongest, but boy could he run. There were a few reasons he was the only TCG player in the top 500, and speed was one of them. TCG was the only mythic where you could customize the appearance. You could make the avatar a female or male, change the face, hair, eyes, nose. Dryden made as close of an animated version of himself as he could. He did a good job, too. He had a creative mind. TCG mains had to play 2 games instead of 1. Instead of a training arena, the Mythic had an open-world trading card, mass multiplayer online, TCG built into the game. Okay, so the character has a whole game built in just for them. A game within a game. Compete with non-playable characters and hidden secrets. New cards to find and new cards to win. TCG mains could also trade with each other. These were the cards you competed with in Evolution. These were the cards you had to attack with, defend with, and evade with. So there is at least a small subset of people in this game that 100% only play the TCG game, and that's it. 100%. TCG mains were the epitome of ridicule among fighters. mostly because they didn't like the randomness involved. They called it cheese, luck, cheap. It was a special occasion of a TCG main. It was a special occasion if a TCG main got a good game from an opponent after a match. Some fighters respected the mythic more than others, but as a whole, they would rather his main not even be in the game. Dryden was definitely getting those vibes now. This was nothing new to him. Cypher was on the gaming side of the community, and he was looking forward to these guys taking orders from him. Let's see how they act when Cypher shows. A luxurious black Tesla pulled up, grabbing everyone's attention. The sleek town car struck out in the run-down gutter of Vegas. The back door opened, and out stepped Cypher. He gestured for them to come closer. I'm glad you're all here at the correct time. We're starting off on the right foot. Gather around for a moment. Cypher pulled out a suitcase and opened it. 3 drones exited the case and made their way in front of the group of fighters. They began scanning their entire bodies. Just hold on for a sec, they're getting your measurements. The data will be sent to Amazon, 3D printed, and your brand new custom-tailored Evo suits will be delivered by tomorrow, of course. Just did it for the cards. I would totally be in it for the cards. Maybe even tonight, who knows? I know most don't prefer using the Evo suits, but they have grown in popularity. I wanted you all to have the option, is all. Everyone was enjoying accepting free stuff, and Cypher had already made a good impression on everyone. Now, none were expecting Cypher to make them feel so taken care of. Come, help me out with the bags. He handed a giant bag after giant bag, and the gang formed a chain. Inside are some new clothes for you all. These will be your workout clothes, lounging clothes, or whatever you want to use them for. Please wear some combination of these clothes or Evo suit while you train with me. The material helps absorb a lot of your sweat and makes my consoles easier to keep clean. Each bag has a name, find yours. Each has a phone in the small pocket with a Tesla subscription to get you around while you're here. They also contain 3 towels for wiping down consoles after each use. Keep your clothes and towels clean. While, Cleats and Clan, I do not want you all stinking up my consoles. Can you all take a moment to double check and make sure you have what I said you have? Contrary to what you've probably heard, it is possible for me to make a mistake. I know it all comes back to the heart of the cards. Heart of the cards, heart of the RNG, we love it. I think this is quite a sweet of Cypher, because he was when he was originally looking at all the people he was going to get for this, he realized that there was like a huge finance disparity between them all. Like, obviously, the TCG player we have, Dryden, obviously came from quite a poor family, so I guess he's not just like doing it for that person in particular either, he's doing that for them all so no one feels like they're being pitied, which is really cool. It's a good way to do it. Points for Cypher. Some of the team smiled with Cypher, and it did lighten the mood a bit. Some were more anxious than others, and Cypher wanted to try ease some tension. Cypher noticed one of the fighters struggling to inventory his new gear. Cypher had forgotten about Nebu's disability. The guy used a cane, and Cypher had picked the sides of the street for where he didn't have anything to rest his bag on. Other than bending over onto the street itself, it was an awkward mess Cypher hadn't foreseen. Cypher hustled over to give him a hand. Yo, Nebu, excited to have you here. I watched that documentary they did on you. You're something special, man. Thanks for the hand, Cypher. It's an honor to come train under you. I'm excited. Grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, martial artists. There is no RNG, cheese, and cheats here. If it wasn't coded into the game, then they shouldn't have left it. If it was a cheat, then why is it coded into the game? For sure. We have a lot to do. Cypher closed the trunk and tapped his phone. The Tesla took off. Cypher was one of many with a subscription to Tesla. Teslas would park themselves around cities, evenly dispersing themselves throughout. When subscribers needed one, all they had to do was hit their location, and one would show up almost immediately. Random number generator. That is what RNG means. Just means randomness. So now next point, it's a feature! Hey Bryony, if I get done with The Library, The Witch, and The Dweller 2 today, when would you be able to read it upon sending it to you? I would need to check my schedule for that. Let me have a quick look. What week are we on this one? I did say with your fanfics that this would be pre-recorded videos that people get access to via Kofi. Just so as you knows. Not via Kofi. I mean, I could just throw it up as a video. That's fine too. But it depends how long it is. I mean, I could probably... I mean, Thursday? Thursday's probably the first day I could probably get around to it. I'm very busy. I'm a very busy lady right now. Especially Pancake Day and Valentine's Day on the same 2 days apart. It's awful. So with pre-recordings on their rules on spoils. No, I guess not, because I could always put a little thing at the start of the video to warn people on spoilers, and then it's their own discretion at that point. So don't worry too much about them. Oh yeah, we were talking about Teslas. Good old Teslas, I guess. There's a Pancake Day. You want to live... Dude, I mean, it's an Easter thing, isn't it? Shrove Tuesday, I believe? It's supposed to be... part of the Christian Easter tradition is that you fast between Shrove Tuesday and I can't remember what day in Easter. And part of that would be to use up everything in the cupboard that would go off, so your milk and your eggs and stuff. So they made pancakes, and that's just turned into Pancake Day now. So we have pancakes on that day. Yeah! And it's the one day of the week, one day of the year that me and my brother, get together and have a nice chat, and we cook things. So that would be nice. I'm looking forward to that. When you were done, they took off, either to charge at a station or go where there wasn't already a Tesla on standby. Having a car for $150 a month, no insurance, and you didn't even need a license. Not a bad subscription service, but it didn't take long before Uber and Lyft were out of business. Oh lordy. I don't fast, I'm always slow. Mood. Hey Bryony, have you looked into gamer subs? I have no idea what that is. Everyone followed Cypher down the alley to what looked like a more run... I'm gonna have a drink. Maybe that will help. Everyone followed Cypher down an alley to what looked to be more run-down nothingness. An old abandoned storage business came into focus, and everyone was looking around confused as to why they were here. Cypher led them past a row of storage units until he got to storage unit 9. The unit's front was already slid halfway up. Cypher lifted the vertical door the rest of the way and ushered everyone into the decent-sized storage unit. After closing the sliding door, he turned on a light, walked over to the opposite wall and pushed in a secret part of the wall. The storage unit floor started to lower, and the surroundings opened to an underground gym. Oh! It was small but impressive, with 10 Evo consoles, matted floors, weights, and what looked to be a center command station raised up in the middle of all the consoles. Cypher had moved his command station over here. Cypher cleared his throat and spoke up. I've spent the last 2 months building this gym. I've spent 2 months watching my gym getting built by people I gave money to. At least he's honest. Everyone chuckled. And they all laughed. You may be wondering why, Cypher? Why build an underground gym? To that, I say, I'm a badass, and I do badass shit. Jesus Christ. Does it smell nice up your ass there? Well, that and the land out here is dirt cheap. I also didn't want to get robbed or vandalized, so hiding seemed like a strong move. Nobody really hangs out around here at all. And do not mention this gym to anyone. I'd like to keep it as much of a secret as possible, for as long as possible. You all need to be away from the fans, away from the reporters, away from the sweet luxury of that is the Colosseum. That shit will make you weak. I need you all focused when you come here. I need you to be motivated when you come here. And most of all, I need you to push each other, to feed off each other. Do what I say, and we're going to take some spots away from the current Colosseum roster. I will do my best to limit your distractions while you train with me. In return, I want your best. You all made it here, so I'm not too worried about your dedication. But if I see you slacking, I'm going to let you know. Because it's cool, nerds. Hey, Bryony, was your birthday on the 16th or the 18th? None! Neither! It's the 19th. Because it's cool, nerds. That line gives Fight Club. It really does, actually. The first rule of Cypher Club. Don't talk about Cypher Club. Cypher paused to let what he said sink in, before starting up again. Any questions or concerns so far? The ventilation was all the sound there was as the group listened intently. Cypher began again. The Colosseum rooms you've checked into are not equipped with Evo rooms, because you have yet to earn your spot in the league. Usually only one of you would be challenging your way into the league at a time, so there had never been an issue with adding one member to the hotel gym. Since the other competitors do not want all 10 of you cluttering the gym, we are here. I managed to get some sponsors to back our journey together. They helped me fund this project. There are a lot of people out there rooting for your success. I hope you've come focused. I hope you've come hungry. This will be no picnic. I'll be your trainer. I'm not here to be your friend. If you need one of those, deal with that amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm gonna try to surprise you on that day, Briny. I look forward to it. In the corner of Cypher's eye, he could see an emergency email flashing red on 3 of his monitors in the center of the gym. One sec. Cypher walked over to his rig in the center of the gym. Everyone was quiet, looking at each other. It was such a firm speech that put them in their place. As a whole, they felt pretty pumped to be here. Cypher was shaking his head and glancing back occasionally at Dryden. Dryden felt his heart sink. He could tell something wasn't right. Everyone else was starting to feel it too. He's going home already? That was fast, said Nebu. Some of the fighters smirked, but mostly people were eyes on the trainer and on edge. Cypher got off the computer and was now pacing, talking on his phone. He looked livid. Dryden could overhear some of the conversation. I know he's in the system, but he doesn't even have a bounty to cash in on. This is absurd and you know it. Ah, bullshit. Why would anyone want to challenge me already? Cypher spoke up. Can challenge you, Dryden. Friday night. We have 4 days to prepare. God damn, Ken! He's literally just entered the... Oh no, not my sweet boy Dryden. Not my... You leave sweet boy Dryden alone. Kenny, no. He is not enough. He is not enough. No. Dryden didn't seem too thrown off. He stared back at Cypher and asked, "Why me?" Cypher shook his head, still trying to prevent himself from fuming. "My guess is that Ken isn't too happy about me making my escape into trainership. I'm surprised, to be honest with you all. I had never, until this unfortunate moment, thought Ken the type to do something like this. He's always taken his losses like a man. Unfortunately for us, it seems we have a common enemy. Something's changed with him. Nobody has ever challenged a newcomer before they even had a bounty. He gets absolutely nothing and risks his spot in the Colosseum if he loses." Centex started laughing and spoke up. "He must fucking hate you, Cypher." Cypher nodded with a face that said, "You may be onto something." "It would seem so, Semtex." "It would seem so. Some rules might need to be changed. I'll try talk to the VP tomorrow, but I doubt it's going to do anything. We need to act as though you have 4 days to prepare." "He plans to pick us off and ruin your chances in making trainer," said Nebu. "Edgy boy versus sweet boy match of the century. Sweet boy, sweet boy, sweet boy, sweet boy. I just want the TCG player to win. Why would anyone want to challenge me? Me, I pick fights with things 40 levels above me and win! If you do, that's impressive." Cypher nodded. Nebu was right. He'll come for all of you eventually. If he wins, of course. If he's willing to lose his spot just to ruin my chance at trainership and gain no bounty, so be it. Of course he's starting with TCG over here. Ken has a freshly renewed hatred for in-game fantasy tricks, as he calls it, on the forums. Cypher took a second and started pacing again, looking at the ground. A couple of minutes passed with him doing this. "I'm not going to bullshit you all. This is a problem. I was already starting to feel as though I had bitten off more than I could chew. Now Ken is willing to risk his spot in the Colosseum to win absolutely no money and absolutely no prestige in beating you. People will only see him as petty, and I guess he's okay with that. He's not the Ken I thought I knew. He's an enemy I didn't know I had. I'm afraid I've led you all into the lion's den, and I don't know if I can protect you." Poor Cypher. He did not realize this was coming. I feel like Cypher could flip it on Ken and just point out to the public that Ken is taking on students that haven't gotten trained as beef. I don't think he would care, Boris. That's the thing. Ken's lost it. If they could just... If they could kick him out for bad behavior like this or something, maybe that would be bad, but I don't think he cares. Using that logic, he could decline the challenges and say Ken is being bad and ignore him. I think they could. Yeah, they probably could just decline the challenges. Ken has gone loco, but that's no fun. Uncomfortable whispers emerged from the group. Cypher stopped pacing and stood tall. "The 9 of you aren't Dryden. The 9 of you that aren't Dryden, pick a console, use weights, do whatever you've been doing. Do whatever you've been doing to get here and keep it up for the next few days. I need to focus on Dryden for now. I hope that serves as a wake-up call to you all. If you thought you'd come here and get a spot, if you thought that this would be any sort of easy, I hope that nonsense has been cast out of your minds. We'll start group practice after Dryden's fight. Dryden, grab a chair, start chair from the stack over there and follow me. Everyone else, get to work." Ken is already using a hatred character. Get lost in the sauce, indubitably. Dryden grabbed a chair while a couple of the other fighters broke off weights and the rest entered consoles. Dryden was getting pumped up as he followed Cypher over to his central station. One-on-one training with the best sounded good to him. Dryden didn't easily shook. Dryden wasn't easily shaken, I think is what he wants to say. Cypher was down at his rig, and Dryden unfolded his metal chair and sat off to the side of him. Well, this isn't too bad. He's just going to help me. Just sit tight with me for a while. I need information from you. I have some ideas on how we can throw some curveballs at Ken. I need to call in a few favors. Should take 15 to 20 minutes. Cypher swiveled in his chair back to his 7 screens and began pulling up a realm of cards, forums, and different communication apps. Starting to think about your matchup versus Rengo. He's not gonna fight his Rengo! Oh no. Oh no. He's gonna prepare him for the wrong mythic! I bet people would start debating on who would canonically win in a fight, Ken or Cypher, then severely underestimate Cypher. I mean, canonically, Cypher should have lost. Oh yeah, Bryony, have you seen Sonic vs. Star Fox? No, I have not. But yeah, Cypher theoretically should have lost. It was only because he managed to unlock a thing that he won. Like, Ken was at disadvantage because of the arena and still managed to kick Cypher's butt, really. So, Ken should have won, and I kind of understand why he was so mad, but he's gone so far off the deep end that I don't think he can get back from that. Dryden pulled out his paper deck and started his mental exercises, thinking about his cards with a focus on how to counter Rengo. It was harder than usual with all the noise, the weights being used, the active Evo consoles, the ventilation system, and Cypher's typing and talking. Excuse me, Cypher. Cypher told whoever he was talking to give him a second, and hit the button on his headset, muting a mic while turning to Dryden. What's up, TCG? Is it cool if I step outside? Cypher looked at him, shaking his head. I need you here. I'm going to need information from you. Why do you need to go outside? It's too loud to think in here. Too loud to think, huh? Can it be loud in game? Can your mind get distracted during a match? When you have everything to gain and everything to lose, is it easy to focus then? The point I'm making here is a major part of being the best, Dryden, is being consistent. To be consistent, you need your mind sharp, always. Not just when it's convenient for you. So, don't be afraid to push outside of your comfort zone, young buck. Also, that elevator door is our only exit for the time being. What if there's a fire while you're up there? How are we to survive? Come on, Dryden. Think of your peers. Bro, if you can't call that elevator down, what the fuck have you built? Don't be so selfish. Cypher said the last part while attempting to conceal a smirk. He was putting in an effort to be professional, but couldn't help himself sometimes. Dryden was suddenly confused. Is he fucking with me? He is fucking with you. But the main reason is all that consistency stuff, so sit tight. Cypher turned back to his rig and unmuted his mic, and resumed his conversation. Dryden returned to his cards, confused. Consistency. Dryden began to think about what Cypher said. I mean, he's right. He refocused on his cards with a new point of view and attempted to ignore all distractions. 10 minutes had gone by. Dryden was in a flow state before he was interrupted by Cypher. Alright, TCG. I've got you hooked up, my man. I need your in-game tag and code identifier. Dryden hashtag 2059. Cypher typed it out into the console on a communication app. Cypher leaned towards Dryden and handed him a digital signature pad. Sign this, it's a standard non-disclosure agreement. One of my recent acquaintances is going to help you out. He's not supposed to help anyone outside of his guild, so he'll need reassurance that you keep your big flap shut, alright? My goodness, the fire marshal would shut down that place so quick. You don't mess, indeed, you do not mess with the fire marshal. Go pick up an open console. You should have a pending friend request. Link up with his barcode. He's gonna take it from there. Don't ask his name, do what he says. Good luck. I hope you find what you need. You know someone high up in a guild, don't you? Cypher gave a face as to say, what the fuck do you think, brah? Stop asking questions. You're gonna get him lynched. I'm serious. Respect to this guy, or girl, for all I know, is going to help you. And don't ask them their name or anything about what they do or who they're with. You understand? This isn't a joke. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to. I understand. Cypher, I'll shut it. At first, Dryden wasn't sure how Cypher was even going to help him, but that speech about consistency already had a positive impact on his meditation. Now he was calling in favours. The guy has done more for me in 20 minutes than my dad has ever done. Plus, I want to protect this boy. I want to protect Dryden. Ken, I swear, if you hurt this boy. Dryden did what he could with the cards he had, but there were better cards out there. Extremely rare cards, expensive cards, strange cards, overpowered cards. Some were all of the above. Dryden didn't spend as much time in Realm of Cards as most. He liked evolution for evolution. He liked the real-time action it provided over turn-based games. He liked the variety of mythics, and he loved that he was the top TCG main in Evolution. I love how his speed... He loved how his speed gave him the edge. Like, yeah, don't you dare. This is a sweet boy. We put him in the protect box. He's a sweetie. 8 months ago, Dryden had decided he had grinded enough. He could make do with what he collected so far. So far, he'd been right. To get the absolute best known cards, you needed to join a guild in ROC, and those people were borderline fanatics. They kept all their secrets under lock and key, and you had to prove your loyalty before they'd take you and to get your grubby paws on guild treasures. Dryden didn't had enough time to prove allegiance to a guild. He thought they were crazy. Some guild leaders had reached out to him in the past after seeing his rank on the open ladder, but he wasn't sure what baggage it would come with. Guilds always wanted something in return, and often it was left ambiguous as to what. There were a lot of real-world money trading hands for some of the rarest cards. Certain guilds were stricter than religions and made the US Army look like lax structure. I can imagine that with guilds. I remember hearing about that with WoW guilds once upon a time. Probably still now. WoW is still going. They were all owned by sponsors, and the guild leaders were paid well. Sponsors would lend out cards to the best competitors on the condition that they flaunt their products in return. There was a natural resistance forming in the community, a recent rift in the normal way of doing things. More and more players were holding out on giving cards they had collected to sponsors. The sponsors were becoming too much of a monopoly with far too much control. A natural pushback had started gaining in power. There was still a far bigger player base in Evolution, but ROC had been gaining popularity. In the past year, the sales of Evo consoles are up 30%, and the numbers showed that Realm of Cards had a lot to do with it. Could you imagine going into, like, a high-tech VR machine to play cards? Why not? I mean, why not? It would still be pretty cool to be able to play cards, like, feeling face-to-face with someone, like, halfway across the world. That is kind of cool, but it's still kind of hilarious. Sounds like co-op in EVE Online, although, to be fair, heists and uncommon infiltration, I mean, I'm not dissing it, but at the same time, I'm like, of all the things you could do in VR, I just learned the hard way that RPG guilds want you to throw everything aside for the guild. The guild comes first, yada yada, yada yada, ispo fatso, even if I'm struggling and can't play the dang game at least. Yeah, I could never dedicate myself to one game enough to keep up with going to VR to do your taxes. I mean, low-key I would though. Like, if I could go into VR just to be at my PC and write, but my surroundings is like a volcano with dragons around? How cool would that be? I would totally do that. Honestly, what they are describing sounds in a similar vein to what I heard that is going with baseball cards, where companies are exerting a lot of control over the trading card scene. Oh, that's interesting. I know there's a lot of money in, like, baseball cards and stuff, like signed cards and mint condition, all that sort of stuff. I wonder if there's the same thing around, maybe... I know there was a lot of money in Magic cards. I remember Magic did that whole Lord of the Rings crossover at one point, and they literally did have one card called the One Ring, and it was literally one card. And in one booster pack, no one else would have had it. And it sold for so much when one kid found it. Like, oh, I can't remember how much it would be. You would have to look it up, but I remember going, whoa! That was a lot. The second game that Dryden had limited time with because of school and working, it went the other way also. Most people playing ROC didn't even step foot into the actual game of Evolution. The developers had made the different mythic training areas their own games. Games within games was how you could describe Evolution. ROC was one of the most elaborate training areas. He spent what little time he had on the ranked open ladder. It had already proven to be the most important use of his console time. With only 4 days until he'd have to compete against Ken, the biggest impact was clear to Cypher right away, and now to Dryden. He needed some help with his deck. Dryden got up and walked down the stairs that gave Cypher's rig center stage. Look. He entered the vacant console. All the noise of the gym came to an end inside the console. I bet that was more expensive than the Charizard card you sold for pounds. I mean, 100% more expensive. Chapter 21. Getting stronger. We're back to Kenny Boy. Ken's console had been offline for almost 3 months. Nobody had seen him. Every single meal had been delivered. He hadn't even seen the sun or felt its warmth. Oh, he's gone full basement dweller. He woke up, trained, went to sleep. This was all he did. He didn't replace his tablet and embraced the disconnect from others. He had previously thought deep down that he was in the best shape he'd ever been when he went up against Cypher 3 months ago. But he'd been dead wrong. Carrying his staff throughout had made his stabilizer muscles grow stabilizers of their own. The cold environment had given him a new perspective on what it meant to be uncomfortable. His senses were sharper. He relied less on sight and more on sound. He no longer hesitated. He trusted his instincts. Fallen Angel had not joined him today. He was alone, moving quickly with his staff, thrusting with great force forward, whipping it around him, jumping and bringing it down. It was as if the staff had become a part of him. He no longer thought twice about giving up Fallen Angel. This was his main. The days of playing Rengo were over. He wants to run and hide behind his noobs. Good luck. We'll see what Ashana thinks of you when you're unemployed. We'll see what your girlfriend thinks of you when you're unemployed. Yes, because that's how dating works, my dude. That's what this clearly very successful woman is totally dating a man for. Jesus Christ. You joined for the first time and the first word you hear is thrusting. Well, that's thrusting great. I feel that unemployment. While you were out trading cards, I studied the magic staff exactly. if other people could actually see the staff, then it's not actually an hallucination. I really hope there's a twist where Fallen Angel isn't really talking to Ken and Ken's just gone and said, I hope so too. When he's unemployed. Oh my god. I cannot. Yeah. While you worked, I fasted. Indubitably. Oh my god, I need a moment after that. That was so silly. But that's just the depths of edgy he's gotten into. Of course that she doesn't actually like him or anything, and she just wants his fame and stuff, when she's arguably more famous than him. Because she's the face of, like, the Colosseum in general. Oh, Jesus Christ. I love how Ken prided himself on being this badass martial artist above all the gamer stuff. Then he loses once and becomes the most gamer guy alive. Yes, he does. Fucking great. Deck upgrades for our sweet boy. Let's go. Chapter 22. Deck upgrades. Dryden accepted the friend request from the barcode account. To stay anonymous, players would make accounts with different amounts of the letter I. They customized their avatars in a way that blended in. It only took a second for the barcode. And the barcode had sent him a location invitation. Dryden accepted, and he was loaded in location Urujai's Falls. Wait a second, Ken is just the origin story of every installer. Kinda, yeah. So Ken is Reverse Flash now? Not even that. Not even... I mean, I guess with the petty nature of the Reverse Flash and how much he just hates the Flash. Maybe? The world materialized around him. There was simply nothing like Urujai's Falls on Earth. Imagining the entire landscape at the whim of a trained and practiced artist. Imagine an artist whose sole purpose was to bring out the beauty in nature. The smell of all the flowers hit immediately, and the humidity adjusted inside the console to match the lush environments. Scientists had developed delicious scents to be released, although the world was as long as you subscribe to the scent liveries. Cypher had subscribed. Smell-o-vision. As much as Ken went total 180, hearing what is going on with him is pretty entertaining. And I hope he remains a fun villain. He is a fun villain. It's very silly, and I do love it. And I kind of love that it is the author's not held anything back with it. Like, this would be somehow more silly if he didn't go that far. Because he's gone that far, because he's gone all in on this arc, it works. It's gone over to that it's so silly it's good kind of thing, rather than just probably being a bit edgy for edgy's sake. Even the most beautiful forests on Earth come with some sort of risk. Whether it be running into a predator, tripping, or running into some crazy person, you always had to stay cautious, which could take away from the joy of exploration. Maybe in the US, but not in the UK. I don't think I've ever felt that way in a forest. But sure. But this environment was designed from the ground up to maximize the player's immersion into the lush paradise environment. No threats. It maximized the joy of finding your first hidden card tucked away under a freshly bloomed bush of roses. The card might be Thorn Embedded, which is a decent card for the beginning areas of the game. Or you might run into some freshly made honeycombs. Share those honeycombs with your friends, and everyone will be rewarded with a sweet treat card that restores 15% HP. Not terrible. Yeah, like, here for the silliness. I'm here for it. It was me, Briny. I was the one who casted an illusion on Void to make him think you were buddy-buddy with him all along. Not new luck. Okay. Yes, I love how the story doesn't hold back on the cringy ads. Yes. Okay, crazy not serious prediction. At the end, they defeat Ken by trusting in the heart of the cards. And when Ken asked why he's lost, as he responds... When, I can't even read comments now. God damn. By trusting the heart of the cards. And when Ken asks why he was as he did, he responds, "Oh, I was method acting." The barcode came into view, and his avatar matched the standard barcode getup. A brown male in a hood, sunglasses, and a loose robe down to the floor. Sometimes the robes were black, sometimes brown. This barcode had opted for black. Over time, the barcodes had begun to indirectly compromise a pseudo-uniform, and it worked. The barcode community had found a way to maintain anonymity in the realm of cards. Barcoding was a solid option in many aspects of the game economy, competing, and social aspects. It also had its drawbacks, like not putting time into your personal stock, and building relationships was impaired due to practically hiding from everyone. Barcodes were even kept at a distance from other barcodes due to their approach. Some people were also hybrids, opting for the option to use their barcode account or main account depending on the circumstances. Have you heard of Tales of Arise, Brownie? I have. It looks very good. There's a shield lady in it, and I love shield ladies. Sorry about the missing words. My phone is old and a bit damaged, so sometimes words get missing while typing. No worries. I just stumble over things when I'm reading them sometimes. Dryden, follow me. His voice was the standard Batman. Okay, the standard Batman. Dryden, follow me. His voice was the standard Batman, the exaggerated Christian Bale interpretation. The idea had taken off, and even the barcodes who didn't feel like installing the voice-changing software could just talk like that. Anyone can do a Batman voice, and the players couldn't make out gender. Batman! Like most, this barcode was 100% using software. Their voice still sounded lifelike, but shrouded in the Batman tone. Are you gonna stream it? Probably not. I have no plans to, at the very least. It's a very long game. It's me, Batman Barcode Man! He began moving forward at a casual pace. He didn't look to be stressed or in any sort of hurry. Dryden fell in line behind them. Dryden, while surprised to be at Urujai Falls, was relieved. It was beautiful. It was one of the starting locations. Everyone goes for Christian Bale, but never Vlad Klemer. But it's very fun. Yeah, I imagine it is. I played one Tales game before. I played Tales of Zestria before. And Tales of Rise is definitely on my wish list, but I don't know if it's something I want to stream. I don't know if it's the one I'd prefer to play on my own. I tend to prefer to play super duper long games on my own. Because then I don't have to, like, only play it on stream. I don't know. I could think about it. I could put it on my list of stuff to think about. Library of Ruina doesn't count. I hadn't made that rule yet. I started that ages ago. If you could have a voice changer playing video games, if I could have, I would 100% be Emperor Palpatine and scream about how I am the Senate. I would just be like, go, do it! Do it! If I had to do the Emperor Palpatine voice. I remember it being breathtaking, but even I rushed through it. I really should spend more time here, enjoying the atmosphere. It's therapeutic. Thin breaks in grass marked the different trails. Waterfalls cascaded into turquoise pools, both to the left and the right, while they moved deeper into the forest. Damn it. There were yellow, blue, and red birds scattered throughout the canopy. The sun was at its apex, and the sound of the waterfalls splashing into the pools was competing with the music of the birds. Dryden could hear the differences in patterns and pitch of their songs. The smell of roses and honeycomb relaxed Dryden. He was happy. The barcode seemed to be at peace with whatever mission they were on. So much had happened in the past couple of months. After begging everyone I knew for cash to fly out here, avoiding Dad and keeping up my meditations. This is a much-needed breather. Oh, sweetie. Do it, Ken. Make TCG play 52 a card. Pick up! I should definitely do that voice for when Fallen Angel comes back. Also, POV, you make Bryony crying in Gotham. Guy spills Bryony's tea and then bumps into Divine Eclipse with Batman voice. Divine Eclipse. Seems you made a tea mess on the ground. That's a terrible pun. That's a terrible, terrible pun. You mean next page? There you go. The barcode spoke up. Vacation is over, Dryden. We're about to get going here, and you're going to need to stay focused. Only short bathroom breaks when you need. Follow my lead, alright? Okay, I can't keep up that voice. Guy, yeah, what? DE. You also made Bryony cryny. Proceeds to beat him up and smashes a chair on him. Yay! 100%. I got it. Take this deck of cards. You're going to need each of these cards at specific times. I'll stay a step ahead of you, and you'll do what I do. Things will get tricky. The cards are in order in which you'll need them. Do not shuffle. Got it? But isn't that the whole thing for his thing? Do it. All you have to do is hit me. You cannot. Why? Fallen Angel said. Ken was panting, bent over, and holding his staff horizontally against his knees as he tried to catch his breath. His arms were in pain, his lungs were struggling, his right leg was cramping up. Oh yeah, I wanted to do the Palpatine voice again. Hey Bryony, did you know Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to have an uncapped amount of cards you can have at once? I did not. Fun facts. You're too fast. No, it has nothing to do with my speed. It has only to do with your lack of it. If I am to train you, everything is your fault. Do you understand? I'll be faster. And whose fault is it that you aren't faster already? It's my fault, Ken said grudgingly while his obedience started to give way. Frustration came to a forefront. You're goddamned right it's your fault. You're lucky I even chose you, Ken Drago. You should be bowing down and kissing my feet every chance you get the grace I bestowed upon you. Hot damn. Anger began to course through Ken's veins. He was no longer bent over and looking at the ground. Purple and black sparks began to intermittently flash around Ken's eyes. He was standing tall with his eyes locked on Fallen Angel. He was sick of Fallen Angel's tyrannical training, of the confusion, sick of the gaslighting, of the manipulation, sick of the cold, of holding this fucking staff, and most of all, he was sick of listening to this fucking clown. I wish I was able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With no card damage with me. Oh god, I don't think I could play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's too complicated. Oh my goodness, Phantom, you're onto something. Ken is trading edgy Morpheus. Yeah, he is. This reminds me of how in True Legend the main character thinks he's being trained by this legendary martial arts master, then someone sees him train and he's just smacking rocks against his head. Ken put all his strength into his left leg, surging forward. As his right came down and touched down, Ken dashed forward while his anger seemed to manifest a force through his staff. Intermittent sparks turned into a steady stream of black and purple lightning surrounding him. Energy released from the staff. Purple energy expelled a massive surge of power behind him. Ken exploded toward Fallen Angel with livid purple eyes, straining with pure focus. Even though Ken was moving faster than he ever moved in evolution, it seemed like time stood still. Fallen Angel's retreat looked like a joke to Ken. Who the fuck is lacking in speed now? Ken guided the opposite end of the staff over him, slamming the black end of the staff into Fallen Angel's face. As he connected, he couldn't help but let out a barbaric, deep roar. Engulfed in anger, he succeeded. Without control, he transcended. A Fallen Angel lay across the floor, his staff a few yards from him, curling in agony. The purple and black energy spheres extinguishing from his staff, and his body started evaporating, blending in with the surrounding black fog. A faint whisper came and went. "You're ready." "You gotta go. Have a lovely day, Luke. Thank you for coming by." "Oh, Brenny, do you like chili dogs?" I've never had one, so I don't know. I assume so. I mean, I like chili and I like hot dogs. And the only thing I think I might not like about them is how messy. Have a good rest for the rest of my day. I had a good rest in the rest before with my nap, so I'm okay. If anything, my rest's gonna be terrible because I had too much of a nap today. But you too! Have a wonderful day. An achievement lay across Ken's screen. To hell and back. Hidden reward. You've unlocked access to Fallen Angel's library. To Ken's right, a purple portal tore through the darkness, letting out a vibrating frequency. It began to stabilize and he entered. Ken Drago found himself inside a warm library. There was a fire burning in the center, surrounded by black bookshelves. There was a well-polished wooden desk and chair. The wood smelled rich, as if it had been cut and crafted immediately before his arrival. His staff was hung up for him on a special mount, and he wasn't experiencing any of the shrieking or vision loss. "A cursed library, you say?" "Indubitably. I just eat chili dogs with a fork and knife to make it less messy. That's the best way to do it. Classy chili dog eater." Also, I thought as a Sonic fan you'd eat chili dogs. It's just not a thing here, really. Like, unless I made it myself, there's nowhere really to get a chili dog around here. It's not really anything. I literally can't think of anywhere I could buy a chili dog to buy. I would have to make it myself, and I have made chili before. But I haven't put it on a hot dog before. Just haven't done it. Should do it. Obviously, famous for her severe lack of chili dogs. Sonic would hate it here. So that answers my question about Sonic the restaurant being international. Might as well try and get a sausage roll down here. Oh, I can't live without my sausage roll though. Now that's one I've had a lot. It was starting to settle in that Ken was going to be allowed some comfort in his path for revenge and being a champion, something he had become concerned about. He walked over to the bookshelves and leaned, reading the spine. To his left, the bookshelf was full of general strategy to advanced strategy. There were books on tactics, some on mind games, some on philosophy, some on exercise science, an entire row dedicated to embracing anger, psychology, and enemy manipulation. This is good. No, it's not. Ken grabbed a book on enemy manipulation and was taken aback by the exquisite leather-bound cover. Ken noticed his hand when he reached out. It was no longer shrouded. He was a projection of himself. He was no longer fallen angel. He couldn't get over the smell either. Each breath relaxed him more than the last. I need to read Embracing Anger. No. I need to read Get Angry. I don't really get angry much. Do it. Let the hate flow through. Yup. He's just in that library. He put the book back without opening it and walked over to see what one of the other bookshelves had to offer. Each book was dedicated to a mythic. An entire book on each mythic in evolution. They were books on how to counter them. He was looking through all the books until he found it. TCG Player. It was one of the largest books. He grabbed it and took a seat on the desk. He was feeling the warmth of the fire when a harp appeared in the corner. It began to play itself in a soft, calming music. Ken opened the book dedicated to his upcoming opponent and began to read. It had everything. Every card he could collect. What they did. The best course of action for Fallen Angel. Holy shit, this is overpowered. Oh lordy. I love manipulating my enemies, but I have no enemies. Like Vinland Saga, you have no enemies. You don't get angry, Briny? Okay, I'm gonna dip pizza into my tea now. I mean, that's just gross. Why would you do that? If anything, I'm disgusted by that, not angered by it. Honestly, I have no idea why, but this entire story reminds me of Sword Art Online. Kinda. Ken's like a laughing coffin guy, isn't he? Vortex was our gift to the worldwide mixed martial arts community. They helped us find our footing in this world. They were our first customers. Unexpected customers at that. In return for their support, we hoped that they'd be pleased with Vortex. It's a magnificent mythic that I fear the fighting community hasn't fully appreciated. They don't think we're doing enough for them. The martial artists are concerned with the direction of evolution. We're used to dealing with gamers. Gamers will complain on forums about balance or bugs or whatever. We'll take it into consideration, but the gamer knows at the end of the day it's our company, and they have to accept the direction of what the team leads decides. But these fighters, they'll show up at your favourite bar. They'll tell you how it is. I love them, but we're only getting to know each other. I felt Vortex would be warmly welcomed, but unfortunately they seem to be upset about the magic stuff, as the fighters call it. I get it. I understand that they want an authentic combat simulator. Maybe we'll look into that in the future. Currently the developers that are working for me prefer incorporating more of their imagination and have different tastes than the martial artists. I've also noticed that they do a much better job when they are working on a mythic that they are passionate about. So you see, it isn't in our best interest, and honestly, Vortex is a masterpiece. Our teams did an outstanding job. I gave them all a month paid time off after I tested it out. We merged traditional mixed martial arts into Vortex's build. We're not going to reconstruct our entire game for them, but we'll give them a mythic they should be excited about. I was blown away. I hope martial artists around the world take advantage of our new mythic release, Vortex, and go become Colosseum champs. One of them will eventually. It's only a matter of time. Max Angel on the inspiration for Vortex, 2049. So who's playing Vortex? I'm Italian and I'm disgusted too. You should be extra disgusted, probably. Except they can quit whenever they want. Hey, Bryony, if you had powers, what would you like to have? That's an open-ended question. I think I'd like to fly at super speed like Superman, because one of my favorite things about a lot of the TV shows and stuff when they've got superpowers is that whenever they have super speed or super flight or something, and they can go wherever they want in the world for food. You could have sushi from Tokyo for dinner. You don't have to worry about flights. We could just book hotels, and then I could just... I don't know. The problem is I'd need the super strength to carry my boyfriend with me to go on holiday together. How about the power to move you? But I would like super speed, and I suppose if I just worked out and got hench enough, I could just hold him anyway. And maybe if I wouldn't be able to go too fast, because, you know... Don't worry, the wind resistant would disintegrate it. No! Okay, I'd have to just bring it back. We wouldn't be able to use it for holiday transportation, I suppose. But I would be able to say, like, go to Italy, where you are, and get authentic Italian food. And it would be great. I could at least bring home dinner. As a person who enjoys sim games, you can't beat the enjoyment of something being nice. Did you say you were going to the gym? No, I do go to the gym. I can't say I, like, do it hard or anything. I haven't got, like, a personal trainer or anything like that. I just do it to move a little bit and, you know, help the mental health. I don't do the massive gains or anything. Authentic Italian food, like moldy maggot-infested cheese from Sardinia. I guess so. I guess so. If that's what you say it is. I was more thinking some of the pasta. Or some authentic pizza. I do like Italian. I very much like Italian food. We have a lot of Italian restaurants where I live. And they're all very tasty. So chapter 24. Vortex. I'm probably going to finish this next stream. How crazy is that? We've gotten through it so fast. So fast. I'm going to have to start thinking about the next book already. So no six-packs brownie with biceps. Okay, disappointing, but okay. Yeah, I am still a little weedy. I am still somewhat small and a little round with noodle arms. That is my build. Cypher was pacing on his center platform, talking to everyone before they were about to start their training. There are far too many lone wolf competitors in the Colosseum. I can tell from your profiles you would all fit the description as well. Ladder grinders, a lot of you. It's good. The grind. We've all been there, but you're here now. I need you to join me in taking things even more seriously moving forward. We need to start working together. We need to start becoming a team. I don't want you all on the ladder. Starting now, I want you to practice with each other. Come up with drills, get creative, work together. I want you all eating together as well. When you're together, talk about the game. What did you learn? What do you need help with? What can you help others with? Funny thing about this game, things that piss you off, whatever. You'd be surprised what information makes you better. Let's look out for each other. Make each other better. There is strength in numbers. Let's show the world. You all are here to stay. Those in the Colosseum don't work together to stay in the Colosseum. They are all looking out for number one, as they should be. But they don't have an advantage of me on their team. So yeah, you all have a clear advantage. Cypher said with a smirk. Half the team rolled their eyes and chuckled. I want you all to make 3 groups of 2 and 1 group of 3. The group of 3 can do a round robin since Dryden is preoccupied. Practice hard. I have access to your feeds. I'll be watching. Losers have to buy winners dinner. After practice, you'll go and get cleaned up and all go out somewhere nice. It's on me. For team, if losers have to buy dinner, then why are you thingy? Kirby. I'm not Kirby body shaped. I'm not that bad. It's just a little pudge. Just a little pudgy. Just tiny pudgy. That's it. Just a little bit pudgy. That's all. I'm just not skinny. But I wouldn't say I'm Kirby shaped. That's for sure. Shit. So Bridie's gonna mimic Kirby powers. No, I'm not. I'm not that big. I'm just a little bit pudgy. I'm huggable. For me, for team morale and unity, and all that good shit. Except for Dryden, I have a feeling it'll be a long night for TCG. He's been there for like 3 days now. What the fuck is he doing? Semtex asked. He's doing what he has to. I hope you'll do the same. Hard work, let's go. Cypher turned away from the team and made his way back to his computer. Semtex cut through the crowd to Nebu. Yo, Nebu! Let's go a few rounds. Nebu had a calm demeanor with black hair and hazel eyes. If you don't mind getting embarrassed, Nebu said. Semtex chuckled while they moved to an open console. Okay, buddy. Good luck, Nebu said while they entered the console. Cypher felt Dryden was on track, so he decided to cycle through the feeds of the rest of his team from his computer. Oh, I need a drink. Blah, 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 blah. Nebu and Semtex caught his attention. It was round 3. It was 3 rounds to 3, extremely back and forth. They'd been at it for hours. A couple of times when Semtex had Nebu on the back foot, he didn't press the advantage. Sometimes Nebu overextended, not respecting when his advantage had faded, and got punished. They were both fast. Both had respectable endurance for keeping this speed up for the 7th match. This was the decider, the tiebreaker. They must have been exhausted. Semtex was using the mythic Ragnarok, and Nebu was using Vortex. So Ragnarok, I believe, was a mecha that could turn into a fighter pilot plane thing. I forgot how much keychains costed. Can you remind me? I would, but I don't know either. I can't remember how much I costed them at. You'll find out when they're up, because I don't know either. Cypher made a few notes while watching them go at it. He liked these two practicing together. They looked to be pushing each other. Every opening Semtex gave, Nebu was filling it in with jabs, always keeping the pressure with the threat of head kicks or takedowns. You did not want to get taken down by Nebu. His ground and submission game were unreal on Vortex. That's what got him here. Semtex stopped and jetted forward with his thrusters and got a clean knee into Nebu. Nebu was staggered and pulling back, unsure what to do for a moment. Semtex didn't press in, missed his window. Nebu recovered and dashed at Semtex, closing the distance, turning the pressure back, on with an overhead right. He had been conditioning Semtex to expect a head kick after the overhead right, but this time he shot for the takedown. Semtex was exhausted and Nebu can sense it. Let's let him tap. Cypher leaned into his monitor. Nebu had just taken down Semtex. He had 95% charge on his Raven Spark and was trying to buy more time, but that takedown seemed to come out of nowhere. As Nebu took his back, Semtex reacted with his backward elbow and a prayer. It connected and finished his meter. Ragnarok started to take off while Vortex was on his back. Before the Raven Spark could completely take form, Vortex had Semtex's neck, and the victory was granted by one of Vortex's win conditions, submission. Cypher got off his computer and grabbed some drinks from the fridge. He walked over to consoles 7 and 8. These were Nebu and Semtex's. They exited to Cypher looking at them. Great set, really back and forth. I want you two to train together like this for the rest of the week, alright? Yeah, sure, Cypher, no problem, Nemu said while grabbing a drink from Cypher. Cypher smiled and said, what about you, Semtex? You okay, training with Nemu? Bro, those submissions are broken as fuck. You're lucky Spark didn't finish it. Nebu thought about explaining to him how he baited the wrong reaction before the takedown, but that fight was close. And he didn't want to give up his secrets, especially if they were trained together for an entire week. Oh, was it the Raven Spark you were thinking about? Was that why your head was up your arse? Nebu said. Fuck off. Semtex was not taking the loss well, and Cypher stepped in to Semtex and whispered, that was a great fight, good work ethic there. Cypher backed off from Semtex and started addressing both of them. You two can tighten up each other's wing conditions. Semtex, it's okay to lose here and there. Nebu is strong. Nebu is a strong vortex. Just figure out why you lost and get to work. We are all here to get better. Yeah, it's cool, I just lost my shit. It was a good fight, Semtex said. For sure, good fight. Cypher handed Semtex a drink. Sweat was dripping from Semtex. Semtex was exhausted, and the drink beaded with thirst-quenching condensation. Syntax like an error? Syntax isn't technically an error. I mean, it's just a formatting, isn't it? Because in coding, I would always forget the syntax for certain languages on how to do things. So I think syntax is more like language, or I don't know the official definition. I don't know. It's not just an error, though. Thanks. We'll go over the replays tomorrow before you'll go at it again. Get some rest. Good workouts today. Semtex, you owe Nebu some grub. Broken ass submissions, sort of game design. Semtex said. As Cypher turned to walk back to his rig, Nebu caught up to him. Hey, there's something I needed to tell you. Can we talk alone? Cypher nodded and gestured to follow to his rig as he started walking. What's up? Cypher asked. Nebu was finally catching his breath from the workout, and the air conditioning was flowing through the underground gym nicely, cooling him off after his win. Last night, I woke up in the middle of the night absurdly hungry. I think it's because of these workouts, but whatever. That's not what I'm trying to talk about. I made my way down to the Sports Brook Grill they have. I ordered so much food, Nebu said with a grin and a slight chuckle. Anyway, I ran into Ken, man. He looked different than what I've seen online. Bigger. He was wearing a hat and glasses and a weird Vegas getup. Everyone looks so insane around here. He blends right in. He gave me some strange vibes and was asking for information about Drayden's training. He told me that he wouldn't challenge me if I could feed him info on everyone. You've been helping me a lot here, helping all of us, so I wanted to give you a warning. Damn, Ken! Lordy. Scary. Cypher struggled to process this new information. Jesus, Ken is losing it. Yeah. You said he looked big? Cypher asked. Yeah, he's jacked. He was wearing a lot of clothes, but bro, I know jacked when I see it. I don't think he has been sleeping or depressed about the loss. He's doubled down. Dryden might be in for it. I'm surprised you're already so loyal to me. Ken's deal might have been pretty good for you. You sure you're making the right move? You have a lot better odds against almost any other competitor in the Colosseum. He's big and jacked and nerdy. He's jacked and nerdy. I was trying to do a white and nerdy thing there, but it didn't quite fit very well. Oh well. I like what you're doing here. I'm getting great training, and I have you to thank. I've always tried to look out for my coaches as they look out for me. I don't see why this is any different. We're here to get better, right? We need to help each other. Hey, Brady, do you like jacked dudes? Not really. Cypher nodded, affirming that he was impressed and still a little surprised. What did you say to Ken after you made this offer? Well, I froze. It took me a while to recognize him, and I had just come down to my room for some fast food in the middle of the night. I was still half asleep. It shocked me. I didn't say anything right away. I felt there might be an opportunity, so I stalled to figure out what it might be. Eventually I told him that I'd think about it. He didn't push it any further. He sent me a friend request in-game. I haven't accepted it yet. Cypher took a moment, thinking about what Nebu had said. Nebu was giving him time to process it in case he had any ideas or want anything more of him before getting some much-wanted food. Cypher and Nebu were standing near Dryden's console as it moved up and whipped around to the left. How's the card player doing? Any updates? Nebu asked. Win or lose, Dryden will have benefited from his journey. I, at least, saw to that. Enough about Dryden. That's my problem. You want me to help with Ken? Yeah, that's why I came to you. Tell Ken that Dryden has been grinding. Mention some of the cards that he's used in past fights. You can find some of his online. Try to make him believe that Dryden has been working with the exact same deck. Tell him that Dryden has just been in-house custom matching against different fighters with the same deck he's been using. Keep mentioning the same deck, you know? Maybe it'll stick in his angry mind. Alright, I'll let him know. Cypher walked Nebu out on his way back. He stopped and was staring at Dryden's console moving around. Cypher took a deep breath in and let it out slowly. He was thinking about how the match would play out. Still imagining Rengo versus TCG. Player matchup. He didn't know Fallen Angel was going to be on the ticket. Ken had been hiding his strength and attempted to corrupt Nebu. Ken wasn't messing around. No, he isn't! But my TCG boy. Mark casting at the Colosseum? What does that even mean? Oh, a dude called Mark. Who was Mark again? It's been a while. Is this the writing guy? Did I think he was called Max? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Mark had gotten an email from Dave Kim, the VP in charge of everything evolution within the Colosseum. Mark Zuckerberg. Nope, Mark Casting. Kim had invited him to interview for one of their commentator spots. Apparently there was bad blood between the two current casters. He had dressed in his nicest suit and got a $100 haircut. Damn, that's an expensive haircut. Mark walked out of the elevator onto what he hoped was the correct floor. He could not shake his nerves, and then he started thinking about if he'd get nervous casting the Colosseum matches. Great thought, Mark! That's where the confidence is going to come from right before the interview. Hold it, get mood. Absolute mood. When you try to confidence, but what if? Ugh. Mood. The thing Mark liked the most about... Oh, yeah, it is the writing guy. Naruhodo. The thing Mark liked the most about writing was that even though there was pressure to write, there was never anyone watching over him, watching him do it. He didn't have a boss, if he ever messed things up, well, that's what editing was for. Everything could be done at his own pace, and he liked that about writing. I also like that about writing. He was nervous about casting would be too performance-based. Too much on-the-spot pressure to execute. Damn, this is what I felt about streaming. This was me before Vtuber. But all that was trumpeted by what an awesome opportunity it was. And Mark did know evolution as much as anyone. He did know all the Colosseum fighters as good as anyone. He figured it may be rough at first, but they have to give him at least a little time to learn. So what if I'm not a perfect caster right away, right? So what if I'm not a perfect streamer right away, right? Chapter 26. We have about 10 minutes. We can probably get another chapter in. And then, yeah, we are definitely finishing this next stream. RIP. Oh no. Oh no. Cypher was at his command center when he got a call from one of his data distributors. Scotty, make it quick, man. Really busy. What's up? Cypher asked. Yo, Cypher, I might take a slight hit in sales the next few months. One of my biggest customers died. He was a friend too. Cypher shook his head. Sorry, dude. I don't know what to say. His name was Rick. Oh. He lost a few big bets in a row and couldn't pay off his debt. That was the guy from the start who bought the info, bet on Ken, and obviously got screwed over. Rumors that I've heard is that they only wanted to take a finger or two, but he freaked out and pulled his knife. Things escalated. I see. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry, Scotty. Is what we're doing right? I feel somehow responsible for Rick's deaths. Cypher took a deep breath. He was concerned. With 1,000 things at the moment, this is not what he wanted to talk about or deal with right now. Well, there are more benevolent professions out there. I feel you. It's hard not to blame yourself. A little bit, but look, betting with our data is better than not. You warn them during every sale, right? Addicts will be addicts, regardless of us. That I promise you. It sucks that your friend died. I'm sorry. Seriously, that sucks, but to say that without you and our data, he would have not met the same fate is whatever. His death is not your fault. But if you're not comfortable selling anymore, that's all good with me. No big deal, I understand. Nah, that's cool. I think I'll be fine. Another thing though, I saw Ken talking to one of your guys, Nebu. The guy with the cane. It was like 3 in the morning. It felt strange. I thought I'd give you the heads up. Nebu came to talk to me about it today. Thanks for the heads up. You notice anything different about Ken? Cypher was fishing for his size confirmation. He's bigger than last time I saw him. He's filled out even more. Looked indifferent. That place slightly beyond pissed where it kind of freaks you out. Scotty said. I get it, Scotty. Thanks. And I'm sorry about your friend. Don't worry about the dip in sales. I gotta go. Take care. Cypher hung up and leaned back in his chair while massaging his hands. Cypher couldn't make sense of Ken's transformation. Cypher knew for a fact Ken hadn't been going to the gym, and his room service was coming and going regularly through his room. His online activity hadn't existed since he lost. Weights were not being delivered to his room. They wouldn't allow that shit. Only using the console wasn't known to get you jacked. It ends up being more shredded. Ended up being too much cardio and you sacrifice strength. Cypher kept on trying to imagine what he was missing. He could feel something important was there, but couldn't make the connection. His frustration persisted. Room service yell? Yeah. Steroids. Just steroids in the room service. I don't think I want to continue because we need to save some of this for next stream. We're going to finish it next stream. How exciting. How many chapters have we got left? Can I have a look? Oh no, it just says sections. Oh, but I wanted to see the chapter titles. Maybe I can see that in the app. I'm going to have a look in the app. See if the app tells me the chapter titles. Because I'm curious as to how this is going to go. Go, 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 go. Let's get out of the book I'm reading. Nope, that's the sample for Colosseum. I want the full book, please. That one. Sure. No, it only says section on there too. Boo. Let me go to the front. Maybe it's got a... no contents page either. That really sucks. Oh well. I wanted to see the chapter titles so we could have just a little peek into the future. But we do not have a peek into the future. Alright, Nighty Night Brownie, I'm gonna rush the rest of the fan fiction so I can get it to you. Take your time, boy, take your time. Make it the best it can be. Have fun with it. Don't rush it just because... I mean, like I said, I have a busy schedule at the moment, so... I don't mind if it takes a little bit of time. You just don't rush. Have fun. Take time. 10 minutes left. Let's talk about the 14th of February or something. Yes, we talked about the 13th of February, which is Pancake Day, which I will not be streaming. I know I normally would on Tuesday, but as I said, it's one of the few times I get together with my brother, and it's our sort of sibling quality time where we eat food, and it's great. And we make pancakes, and we eat pancakes, and it's fun. But the 14th of February, Romance Day, Valentine's Day, where I will be singing a karaoke. This karaoke will be unarchived, so I'm not worrying too much about the copyright of it because it will not exist after the stream. I do have, what's the 14th of February? It's Valentine's Day, karaoke day. I do have a secondary channel now, which I will link you guys to. Just a second. I just need to find it. Wait, no, I would have linked it in the Discord. That's probably the easiest way to find it again. To find a link for you. Where I have made a channel called Bryony's Unarchived Archive. Where I will be putting things that I can't put on my main channel because of copyright. So that way it can all go onto there. So after the karaoke for Valentine's Day, it might take a little time. Can you be New Lark's Valentine? No, she would not want a lowly human as her Valentine, I'm sorry. But so after the karaoke stream, I will probably upload it there. It may take a few days to go through because I'll need to, edit it down. I'll probably need to upload it. Probably find out there's a few songs I probably have to take out and then edit them again. So it may take a little while for the stream to pop up on there. I thought she wanted haters to lovers thing. No, she wants. I can't remember. What did she want? I'm not her. I would assume that she wouldn't settle for any lowly human personally. Only some kind of outer god would really satisfy New Luck, really. But yeah, so if you have any song suggestions, please get them into the Discord or even into this chat, because if it's a song suggestion and it's a song I don't know, I have a chance to look it up. Whereas if you come into the channel in the stream and you suggest a song then, and I don't know it, I won't be able to sing it because I don't know the song. Because I need to be at least somewhat familiar with it if I'm going to give it a go. And this whole karaoke is going to be slightly less organized than the last one, because I just haven't... Castation and Betrayal by... Let me write that down. What even is that song? Let me find it. And also I need to be able to find a karaoke version of it. Castation and Betrayal. Oh. Looks rocky. Yeah. I'm not sure I could do Screamo. Oh lordy, these are some hella things, suggestions on jokes. Yeah, this is just screaming. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. No, the only suggestions I've had so far is either Rivers in the Desert or what was the other one? They were both Persona 5 songs, I believe. A river in a dry land. I really like Rivers in the Desert or Last Surprise. Which one was Last Surprise? I need to suggest that Last Surprise. Is that the battle theme? Or is that the other one? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it's the battle theme, okay. I don't know the lyrics for it. I probably know Rivers in the Desert better, but I don't know if I can sing it very well. Overdrive Losi's Toho. You need to be more specific, because I don't know many Toho songs. Also, you have to keep in mind that I am crap at singing in Japanese. It's a girl, da 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 da. Never looking to the horizon, not a cloud, na 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 na. Yeah, I could probably do that. Overdrive Losies. I don't know what that is. Overdrive Losies. Na 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 na. And my body, and that's all I. Overdrive Losies. What is this? Overdrive Losies subbed. Oh, it's another Toho one. Okay, what's this one sound like then? Modest? Nah, I'm crap at it. I can't really do Japanese stuff. Overdrive. How does one even sing this? Da 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 da. Sag. I don't think I could do that voice. Oh my god, that is a hell of a thing. Unogin. No. Hella no. Yeah, I can't say these suggestions will all be taken in, but I would like some warning on some of them. I plan to. Basically, there's a karaoke channel on YouTube called We Sing King, and I plan to just kind of flow through there and just find things that I want to sing. So for example, Chop Suey System of a Down is on one of the front page for me at the moment. That would be a fun one. I do want to do some romantic songs too, because you know it's Valentine's, but I don't really listen to many romantic songs, I guess. I would request Trickley's English covers of Eve songs, but Eve raps, I'm not so confident we could do it. I could probably do it with practice, but we're only a couple days away. But let me see if I can find them for, so what was it? Trickle's English Eve. Let's find an Eve song from them. Creeper All Man song. Oh, they did one for specials. You want my special. My favorite romance song is, well, The Wild Roses Go by Nick Cave. Cool. Oh, he does have the thing. On the edge of Dragon Bones, Tokyo's roads will run right when we show. Give me all your dancing on the edge, yes or no? How bad can you go? I think I need to know. I love you, baby. Screaming out, let me hear you sing. I like how you look to me. I know that you want a piece. A spark of desire, and the fire burns higher. Going out of control here. You are my special. That's pretty good. I like that he's got the lyrics at the bottom there. I might subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Trickle. He's very cool. The Shrek Creeper All Man song. What even is that? Creeper Man. +1 trickle subscriber. Yeah, +1 trickle. Why is that creeper so round? A burger that's swinging from side to side, side to side. Let's ask a grueling one. Hope we find some diamonds tonight. Night. Heads up, hear the sound. Turn around to a cup. Oh, the shark fills your body. Oh no, it's you again. Can never forget those eyes. That's Storytime stuff again. I love this. I'm gonna learn that. We're gonna learn that. Do you know the way? No, I don't know many of these meme songs. Let's learn some of these meme songs. Also, I do want to look what else Trickle's got for going for it, because they've got a lot. And I was always looking for some English lyrics. Oh, Kickback, heck yes. Oh, I love Kickback. I know you can't hear it, but hey. I find my life a beautiful star. 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 Oh, lucky time for some laundry, my lucky day. Wash away oily stains on my name as I say bye-bye. In my mind, I hear you cry a song from inside. Wanting of this, wishing for an apple of your eye. As I pray for a good life, I beg for good times. Give me a taste of a sweet life, reaching between your chest and me that kickback. Happy thought I want to be, rest in peace, come by and stop me. I'll spread the love that I was always starving to see, even in hell I'll sing. I love you like a sickness, step on me and I won't leave you my honey. Fight my life, beautiful star, my fight my life, beautiful star, my fight my life, beautiful star. Something's missing in my heart. Ah, I love that song. I love that song so much. Oh, so much. I will definitely be singing that. Headbangs Furiously. I know, we'll actually have a, thingy. This stream's gonna get copyrighted. I mean, it's not, because you can't hear it. It's just a cappella. So it shouldn't be. Do it. You better credit Trickle in description. I will for the translated lyrics 100%. I will make sure to link him in the description for translated lyrics. But anyway, what did I know? Da Way by CG. Da Way by CG5. I'm guessing this is to do with, yeah, Ugandan Knuckles. Yeah, I don't want to do that one. Don't really wanna. I'll listen to it for a hot sec, but unless it's a bop, I don't want to do it. This is gonna have a resurgence, isn't it, when that Knuckles series comes out? Interesting. It's an interesting song. I'm not sure I want that one as much. Yeah, I'm gonna update the description now for Trickle, so, just so I don't forget, because I'm a forgetful bean, and I will do this. Also, we've managed to talk about karaoke so much that we've managed to find the end of the stream. Stuff I sang from Trickle. Trickle, trickle, trickle. There we go. Save. He's in the description, so that's wonderful. Okay. Distraction successful. I know, you got a whole 10 minutes out of me, Al. I'm so excited for karaoke, guys. You do not understand. I love singing. I'm excited to have found Trickle's stuff. I wanna check their Twitter. They have a merch shop as well, and a Patreon, and a Spotify, and I like this person. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Anyway, I do need to go. It is sleepy time for me now. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, anyone who lurked. Thank you to anyone who watched the VOD. I really hope you enjoyed today's story so far. If you're interested in grabbing the book yourself, there is a link in the description if you have been enjoying the book. The author would also be very appreciative if you could leave reviews. Yay! I mean, next week we'll be finished, so that would be the time to leave the reviews, I guess. Maybe not this week. If you would like to support me in any other ways, I have memberships, I have Patreon, I have Kofi, and I have merch. Which you, some of those you will get exclusive streams, merch discounts, and short stories, depending on which of those you decide to support me through. I will be back most likely tomorrow, probably with Minecraft. I haven't 100% put my schedule together, but that is most likely what is going to happen. And that is all I have for you. I think that's all the shilling and everything. Also, join the Discord. Discord's fun. Everyone's fun. It's a good place. Join it. Do it. It's great. You're welcome, everyone, for the stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. If you have not already, I would highly appreciate it if you could leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Let's get those numbers back up. They have slowed down, but we will get them back up again. Up, 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 up. Successor. Let's go. But that is it for today. I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Briny Rose Smith, live in the Vin Library. Goodbye.